Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. This is my Fullmetal Opinion podcast. We're here to talk about topics and, I guess we could say pop culture or anime world, but we just want to talk to the people. So thanks for tuning in to the first episode we got. And here you're going to always have your glorious host, L1 the Philosopher. You know what I mean? L1NK, Link, the Philosopher, Shizzy with the Xbox. But I'm here for the first episode with a friend of the channel. Talk to the people.
It's your boy ME10 Mello.
You hear Mello with the choppy audio, but we here though. Oh, I let the gun go. I feel like Jordan talking right to Camelo. I'm sorry. So, back to the program. We want to talk a little bit about Disney getting the streaming rights to Bleach. And what does that really mean? For the last couple of years, in the anime community, they definitely complained about Netflix jail, how things can be locked into a streaming service and nowhere else, and sometimes it just doesn't get its proper due, right? It doesn't get that big that it normally would get in the anime community because you go watch it at the same time. So Mello, question. Right. Let's just ask the question. Do we repeat the question again at the end of the segment? So do you feel Disney get involved in a way that you can't watch it while it's happening, but you're more binge watching, right? Disney is the biggest streaming platform, I believe, in the world, right?
Right.
So it can get on more eyes, but is this missing something if you can't watch it while it's happening, or watching it all together is where I guess where they should go? What's your opinion?
I like both ways, to be honest. I like the fact that they're keeping like some services, or whenever some companies drop anime, they drop it so it's episode to episode, and that's great because that's the old-fashioned way. That's the way that we grew up on it, and I enjoy that way. But I also do like the binge aspect of it, because say me and you see an anime we like and it's coming out, and we decide, you know what, let's watch this together. Now we got a whole season to watch. So then we got a lot of content to watch, and we also got a lot to review instead of us watching the episode and going episode by episode. So I like the fact that they're doing both. I don't want them to get rid of the traditional way. So I hope that they don't just blatantly just say, we're going to stick to this. But if they do both ways, and some anime do, some anime don't, I don't see the problem.
Okay, so what about this Bleach itself? For Bleach being a big iconic show in the early 2000s in America, it was part of the first label of the big three with Naruto, One Piece, and Bleach. How do you feel like having it that you can't watch it every week that it comes out in Japan for that show? Do you think it hurts or it doesn't matter over here? Like how many people you think are actually going to watch it weekly based sorry, I'm going to repeat the question. How many people you think is actually going to watch it weekly compared to the people who will watch it binge? Is it like, should Disney really be concerned? Should they invest and try to simulcast? Or they be like, no, that's just not what we do here?
I think for Disney, they should just say, that's not what we do here. And I think I think this is a great first step in them getting their feet into the anime community, because they get a big name, something that anime fans themselves already are familiar with. Nothing too crazy, but nothing that they don't know about, and something that they will be willing to watch. You're not getting some bullshit and trying to stake your claim. So, and they're a big name, and they can do a lot with it. So, even though it might be a little stale right now, it might be pretty much the same, I think this will give it a nice little revamp, a nice little, new feeling to it, a refreshing air to people who love Bleach and who love anime in general, seeing this new take on Disney taking it and seeing what they do with it. I think that'll be a great thing for us to witness, and a great point in history for us to mark.
Yeah, make it a little clear for some people. Yeah, this is a streaming license, so like the show is still the show. They're making their show how they want to make it. It just, when it comes to America, and I believe everywhere else besides Japan, Disney just owns the streaming rights, and you can't stream it without Disney's permission. Personally, I feel like it's a win. I think it's good. when you look at Disney being in more households than any other streaming app, I will want my product on that platform. I could reach more people to bring in more money, more merchandise. So I feel like that's just the way to go. I feel like that's kind of where everywhere I go. I do understand the idea of Netflix jail. Now we have, Disney Plus jail, because they already had two anime before this. Now they have this one. So it's like, can hype die down for anime? I think it can. But is Bleach one of them anime? I think not. I think the property's already strong enough that it won't get died down if we wait longer. But maybe like if it's a new anime you heard was good, and then you had to wait several more months, you might forget it comes out. You might have to be reminded that thing came out. So that does happen. Definitely on Netflix. I think Netflix has like a lot of exclusive rights to some animes, like they have the license to. And like, if you want to watch it over here, you gotta watch it through them. Right. Sometimes stuff takes too long, but I do feel like when you do end up watching it, it's good quality and it's all there.
Right. And another thing, what you just said, it dropping on Disney is a great thing as well, because everything that I've seen on Disney, regardless of the actual content itself coming out, everything is high quality. So anime reaching its platform, I think, is a great thing, and I hope to see more titles reach Disney, because even though you might not like some of the stuff on the service, the actual service itself is top tier. Yeah, so far it's been top tier, and there's a lot of room to grow, but what they have done so far is high quality. Yes, it's scary as hell, especially compared to something like Netflix. What they've been able to surpass in such a short amount of time is
because Netflix was the standard of, this is how you build an online service. It took years for Netflix to get there, and Disney took the resources and their billions of dollars,
right?
And they created their own service that was very similar to Netflix, like infrastructure. Like, man, this is really good. How they got to set up the interface, it's easy to navigate and find what you need, and they keep adding on content that's like that. They became number one because how much content they own,
and it's so high quality.
Having Marvel, having Star Wars, and of course it's Disney itself and Pixar, having all them things that's where you need to go if you like that properties. But then now we're going to do maybe some exclusive deals with some nice anime, big time anime, to bring that to the channel too. It's making a catalog really scary.
Right.
So any thoughts of just, I guess, the streaming era of anime? Saying the 90s, I always call it the 90s the Tsunami boom. Then we had the internet renaissance. Now we in the streaming era. Do you feel like this, like I said, we always said it's a good thing, but do you want to see Disney grab more properties or other apps get more into like buying this stuff? Because right now, even in HBO Max, they have, I think they partially have a connection with Crunchyroll. I think the company that owns them owns that. So it's like there's anime on every app now, it feels like.
Yeah, in my 19 years on this planet, one thing is for certain.
First of all, you young as shit, bro. I'm 36. I'm about 19. I should rock your eye, bro.
Yes, but like in that short period of time, it is abundantly clear to me that one thing is for certain: competition is key when it comes to making great things.
The free market, yeah.
Right. And Disney doing what they did just goes to show me that. And then them expanding and getting anime and just, showing we're here to stay, and we're trying to take over. It puts a flame under other companies like Netflix, for example. They're gonna have to step up, and if they don't, they're gonna get left in the dust. And I really appreciate that, because
I ain't gonna let you fly and say Netflix gonna be left in the dust.
It will be. I'm not gonna lie. Look at what Disney already has, and then look at what they surpassed Netflix. That's insane.
Well, but they surpassed it with a subscriber base. But I do feel like, all right, so quick. You own Netflix. You have Netflix, or you at least had it before. And you say, and same thing with Disney, right? So with Disney, I feel like I feel like Netflix has better serious shows, right? Like, but Disney has the biggest shows because
And on top of that,
we have the Marvel and Star Wars
they
catalog. I
got
feel
that
like
nostalgic stuff. They got all of that
yeah,
old
that's
Disney
facts.
stuff. They got
That's facts.
Geographic Channel.
That's facts.
They so broad to the point where it's like that goes to show you why they have so many subscribers and why they were able to surpass them in such a short period of time, because they have so many things that they're appealing to so many different type people for. And I feel as though Netflix has been out for so long. Why haven't you already taken that step?
First of all, they did take the step. I hate that I'm defending Netflix right now. They did take the step. So one of the problems is Disney was starting an app, so they pulled their services. You know, they had the Marvel shows, they had the stuff, but it's like Disney went, well, we're going to open up our own, so they took that away. I think they did good about building their own programming. They had different, like even like was it the Dragon's Egg or something like that? Like a lot of shows they build on their own. BoJack Horseman, Orange is the New Black.
And I feel as though
them shows I think changed everything.
Yeah,
I think
they did great.
Disney just found a way to take what they have and expand on it better. But that's because it was already they had a better infrastructure. Disney is doing stuff they own.
Right.
Netflix has to create because they don't own ABC. They don't own it.
But that's my thing. They had a lot of time, lots of it. And just for what they have done, yes, it's been great, but I feel as though they could have done more, because them seeing that Disney pulled and they knew that they were going to do their own thing. They knew it was coming.
Yeah, they knew before us.
So knowing this, that should have been the flame lit under you to say, okay, now we need to put our foot on the gas. I just haven't seen enough content.
I think they did. I think the anime was a part of that. I think they had to start getting a good anime content.
Well, it's not good enough. I'm sorry, it wasn't good enough.
Oh, the disrespect.
I'm sorry, I gotta disrespect now, because now I just gotta be disrespectful. There's no other way to put it. They getting shit on. They getting trashed. I've used Disney Plus. I've had Disney Plus. I'm going to get it again and get rid of Netflix at this point, because yes, I love the things on Netflix. It has great things on it, but it's nothing compared to me watching all of the Marvel movies, all of them. Then I go to the Geographic Channel and watch all these different animals, and then I could go back and watch all these old shows from the old Disney from like the early 2000s whenever I feel like it, whenever I please. Like, come on. How can you touch any of this? And that's just the tip of the iceberg. They got a bunch of other things, sports. It's a ridiculous amount of content that they actually have.
They own ESPN and they own Hulu, so
it's absolutely ridiculous. So when I see that, I'm just like, there's no competition right now. Like, Netflix is not, to me right now, with Disney just existing, being there, it blows them out of the water. There's no competition for them. That's why they have so many subscribers so quickly and just blew them out of the water so fast. Subscribers is everything, and Netflix been out longer than them, so they should have more. But for them to gain more,
they still number 2 though. Don't disrespect, bro.
They number 2 and they gonna stay number 2.
You know what? Yeah. All right.
Because the dividends.
When I catch you, it's a wrap, bro. I'm giving you a Netflix 1 and 2, bro.
You gonna have to. I can name a bunch of different shows like The Proud Family.
Okay.
What's that joint with Will Smith in the
Yeah, you don't even know. Yeah. What's that joint with Will Smith? Yeah.
Yes, they got Will Smith.
Yeah, you don't even know. Whatever. I slap you like Will. I slap you like Will. Talking reckless. The disrespect at the Godfather of streaming. Or you wasn't there. You didn't have the DVDs in the mail like your OG over here.
I know,
when the philosopher had the struggle. And then they say, yo, we're going to give you some online stuff you can watch online. They're like, what? I used to play on my Xbox 360. I used to click right over to Netflix. At the time, the 360 was drawing because they will let people know what you watching on Netflix. Like, they won't tell you that you're on Netflix. It'd be, you know what I mean? At least it's nothing like perverted on Netflix, but some stuff you don't want people to know. I don't want people to know I'm watching Teen Mom. You know what I mean? I don't want nobody to know that. I don't want nobody to know I'm watching my Sweet 16s and I don't want. No, I'm cool. I remember
when you told me that.
Yeah, it was a crazy time, but that was more Xbox drawing. But I feel like it showed the blueprint. So somebody will come and has $1 trillion who got the blueprint who own so much stuff, yes, they can create a product that's hard to beat. But I think Netflix tried, and I think they're doing a good job. I think if you're a new anime fan, Netflix is a great place to start.
Yeah.
I feel like they have a lot of good quality shows there, locked into them too. But it's like they have good programming. Now
And Disney gonna
Hulu,
surpass them in a matter of a month. So it's just like it don't even matter what you need Netflix for. Get rid of that streaming service.
What?
Now I was there with everything you was talking about. I didn't actually like do it. I didn't actually have the DVDs. I didn't actually have, but I was there in that time period when they had GameFly out, and they was talking about GameFly, and the Xbox 360 was the most popular console at the time period, and Netflix was just getting into that new online streaming gimmick. But yes, it was a great time period. You cannot tell me that time period wasn't amazing. But I feel like we in another one, and this one is Disney.
Okay. So, I agree. I feel like Disney's doing great. I just feel like there's a little too much slander on the man who started it. We
living in historic moments right now, and I'm hyped because not too long ago there was nothing for us. Like, and just in the gaming realm, just with it was so much negative. I feel as though this is the closest in my lifetime. I wasn't there for the Great Depression or anything like that, all of those things, but I feel like this was the closest I ever touched to something like that, where we just had a lack of inspiration, a lack of happiness.
Great Depression? Well,
hey man,
what are you comparing? Are you saying the pandemic? Are you talking about that?
The pandemic is the closest thing.
All right, COVID pandemic is the closest thing to the Great Depression in your lifetime. I get that. I thought you were just talking about lack of anime. I'm like, what?
No. We have never seen a lack of anime.
Facts. I have. I'm old, but
yeah, but
the '90s was killers.
Yeah, that's facts.
But them 2000s was heavy though.
Exactly, and since then we've never had a point in where we didn't have at least one
over 20-year span of like domination.
Exactly.
I would say I'd be nice. I'd say 27. I feel like late 90s anime really like put a staple when Lemon coming over here, Dragon Ball Z coming over here, and Pokemon doing this thing in 90s.
What about Yu Yu Hakusho? Didn't that come out around that?
Yeah, but over here it wasn't as big. Like it's greatly written, and it's one that's probably my favorite anime, probably top 3 guaranteed. It's like of all time. But really, it was like Sailor Moon got popular, then Dragon Ball Z got popular after that. Then Pokemon came out in '98, and that was just nasty when that came out. It just destroyed everything. But again, I definitely understand what you're saying. So something else happened, probably a couple weeks ago. That Crunchyroll, the same company that ended up buying out Funimation, now owns Right Stuff. Online store to buy your anime, wallets, your anime movies, manga, posters. What do you feel about this? Is this a good thing or a bad thing? We do know, I'm about to say Funimation, rest in peace. Crunchyroll is a streaming platform, and it specializes in streaming, right? Streaming rights. It doesn't really do that much in the dubbing department, and definitely physical releases. Now they own a company that does physical releases, that ships them out. How are you feeling about this? This is a good thing for anime fans, or they should be wary?
I think we should be ecstatic, but at the same time, we shouldn't get our hopes up too much and just wait things out. And I say that because this is a great thing, because we were just so scared about. I was talking to you. You brought up a great topic not too long ago, a couple of weeks ago, about the fact that hard copies and just things that you can hold in your hands, physical things, was disappearing from anime in general. And that's a scary thing. And so them actually doing this and showing us that they actually do care about anime in general is a great thing. But we need to see how they actually capitalize on it. And right now it just looks good, like a piece of candy.
Yeah, me, It's funny. I'm definitely gonna take the opposite approach. I'm more scared. It's
Mm.
more. I don't think it's no good intentions of why they brought this because they don't need this company. There's no like this company doesn't do what you want to do. So it's like, why are you getting it? I believe I seen one video. They said it's that Right Stuff could own Gundam. I'm not quite sure about that, but if they do, is that the reason why they buy it? They bought it so they can get the Gundam franchise. Did they buy it to eliminate competition? Right? If we eliminate this service that has physical releases, you will have to stream the stuff you want, and you have to come to us.
Right.
So I'm a little nervous. I'll be like, why did they do this? It was a need. It's like if out of nowhere, I don't know, HBO just bought Amazon, but why? What?
Yeah.
Why they don't specialize in that department? So what are they doing? They're trying to eliminate Amazon Prime. They're like gonna do something with that and put it into their service. I don't know. So I'm a little uncomfortable. I hope it do well because I just feel like the company has a reputation. When you buy a company, you're gonna end up letting people go. So it's like, what about the good packaging, the things they already do? Is we're gonna keep getting that same quality, or it's gonna be a lot of corners being cut? Can now like somebody bought the company?
And now you got me scared.
Oh, sorry, I didn't mean. They mean to do
scared
that.
all over again.
They're trying to be honest because same thing with the idea of Funimation. If you bar Funimation, you have a similar team. Well, are you really going to keep the dubbing department? Because you're not known to dub anime, and I think that's becoming. Well, I think it's still a great art. Dubbing is important. I feel like people who are in the culture, they tend to look at dubbing as a bad thing, except for looking at the world. Right? It's better to watch something in your native language. You can relate more.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to talk about before we hit out? Any other anime news or anime ideas, or you want to give a shout out to a certain anime? Or
If we as a community let hard copies and holding things in our hands die, I will never forgive this community, and I will respectfully leave it.
Yeah, man, the hard copies are important in all mediums, music, alike, but definitely in anime. Remember a long time ago, what was her name? I think it was The Right Arm was her name. She had this code called Sustain the Industry, and every month they used to show how much stuff they bought to keep the anime industry keep going. It feels that way when it comes to physical mediums, man. I want good DVD sets. I want good releases with certain, like, and if you not buying physical copies, they're going to die out because the streaming services is making it too easy. And guys, you got to remember, if something is on streaming, you do not own it, and it can disappear. They could just erase it off the website and it's gone forever. So it's scary. It's scary.
Yeah, that's my biggest fear. Like, when you brought this up, I was really just like, damn, because I didn't even get to the point where it's like I'm a collector now. Like, I started collecting PS2 stuff and just those things in that nature, but when it came to anime, I guess I took it for granted.
Yeah, you don't know. Same thing, because the DVD sets, like even DVD sets in general, and this goes for all mediums, but we're focused on anime. They got real lazy, man. While I bought my Dragon Ball Z orange brick sets, they got the big Dragon Ball Z logo. You put all the DVDs together. You don't get that with the Blu-rays like that no more, man. They just put them in there and it's done. And no great cover art. It's all plain. So even the physical medium got to step their game up. We got to make it unique for people to buy.
Right.
Because I stopped with my collection. I got to build more. I mean, I got how many shelves I got on that? 1, 2,
like 5,
3, 4. Yeah, probably 4 to 5 shelves. But it's like it's like, it's 8 shelves there. So that should have been filled up by now. But it's like streaming did slow that down because everything is there.
Yeah.
I could just watch it. In some anime, I realized there is no DVD releases. They don't have no Blu-rays. I'm like, this is scary.
All right.
This is scary. It's going right to streaming. But again, man, I want to say thanks for anybody who tuned in to our Fullmetal opinion, episode 1. Really just talking about the streaming era. The streaming changed the world, and talking more about now I want to say the ownership era, when companies buying companies, and how does it affect the fan? And I think it's really interesting what's going to happen in the next couple months or next couple years after Crunchyroll end up purchasing Funimation. I did prefer Funimation app more, but even though they both was trash, they both had they both was trash. They both had ups and downs and stuff like that. But it's like, but that's being brought out and other things. So now we're getting one big company, and sometimes that's not good because you need the market, like you said before, like the streaming, like they're making each other better. You need the other anime market. So if Crunchyroll is the only legit anime streaming service over here, is that a good thing or a bad thing that they're that big? It's a couple other sites, but they're small. The only person who was in some form of competition was Funimation, but they didn't make it a partnership, and then they end up buying it. So it was over.
If they move like Disney, it's a great thing. But if they stay the same and they just bought that shit, I'm gonna smack the shit out of everybody there. It's like you need to improve. Their site wasn't that good in the first place. And now they're buying all of these different things. It's like, okay, well, you're monopolizing. Let's see you actually do something with it.
Yeah, I do feel like if you go, like, there's some pros and cons. Definitely, we just talk about the Crunchyroll app and the Funimation app. But if you combine some of them things together, it could be a stronger app. So I wonder, like you said, what are you going to do with these acquisitions after you have them? How are you going to implement them in your company to make that better and you better at the same time? You know, we have to wait to see that. We have to wait. You have to wait to see what happens.
That's the scariest thing.
Oh yeah, because you don't know. So again, I'm L1, a philosopher, man. Lank, aka Shizzy with the Xbox, and I'm also here with
ME1 No Mellow.
And thanks for listening. If you're watching this on YouTube, please subscribe, all that good stuff. And you listen to the podcast, you know, just make sure whatever service is on, you're giving it the stars and the thumbs and whatever good stuff. Just thank you for tuning in to us. And we catch y'all next time. Always, forever be, it's that deep. Peace out. Yeah, okay. Slip that in there. A little wallow action. Wallow 267. And it's just like.
That's that Ghibli. That's that Ghibli.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Right.